One of the most interesting issues that interfaith couples face is how to talk about sensitive religious questions with their kids. For example, how to talk about Jesus in an interfaith family, particularly if it's a practicing interfaith family where there's a Jew and a non-Jew, both of whom feel strongly about their religious tradition and both of whom feel strongly about wanting to share that tradition with their children. So the issue of how to talk about Jesus becomes sometimes a very sensitive and a very difficult one, particularly if for one parent Jesus is in fact divine and Jesus is perceived as the Son of God and a source of personal salvation, where it isn't for the other. When you deal with how to talk to your children, the best thing is to be open and to be honest and to teach your children that in this instance, just like with every question that has to do with religious belief, people differ. The world is filled with a great diversity, billions of people who have very, very different beliefs. There isn't one right answer to all religious traditions and all religious questions. If that were true, then most people in the world would always be wrong. And instead, I believe it's better to teach your child that there is a range of belief, that the purpose of belief, whether it's a belief in Jesus or whether it's a belief not in Jesus, or whether it's a belief in that God is Allah or God is Adonai or whatever language we may use to represent our religious beliefs, that the purpose of that belief is not the belief itself, but the purpose is what it does for us, how it changes us, how it helps us to become the best person that we can be in the world, to reflect the best values that we can reflect. That whether it's Christianity or whether it's Judaism, whether it's Islam or whether it's Buddhism or any other religious tradition, that the goal is the right kind of life. The goal is wisdom, the goal is compassion, the goal is justice, the goal is finding our own spiritual center and the ability that we can have to make a difference in the world and to bring more holiness into the world. So when it comes to questions about how to talk about Jesus, I would simply be honest. If you're a Jewish partner, I would share that Jewish tradition saw, and certainly modern Jewish tradition sees Jesus like a rabbi, like any other rabbi, someone who's a teacher, someone who isn't any more divine than all of us, because in fact we believe that all of us have a spark of holiness in us. All of us are made in God's image, and so in that sense all of us have a sense of a certain kind of divinity within us. If you're a Christian believing parent, then you have every right to share your beliefs with your child and to say, this is what I believe. Obviously dad or mom has different beliefs, and what we do in our family is we respect the reality of everybody else's beliefs, and we recognize that those beliefs are not the ends in themselves but means to an end. And you encourage your child to think for him or herself, and to give that child permission. What's really important is to give your child permission to think differently than you think, because children are afraid of betraying their parents and coming across as choosing one parent over the other. So both parents need to be together as a team on this and share with your son or with your daughter that it's okay for them to have their own beliefs that may be similar and may be different from yours. And if you do that, then you're teaching them how to get along even better in the world and to accept the diversity of religious belief.
Good show.